everybody, what is up? So we are on our way, as you saw in the thumbnail, to get Project Jigsaw, my 1967 Pontiac. So what is it? Well, you'll find out when we get there. It's been in storage for 37 years. It was blown apart 37 years ago, and that's why it's got the nickname Jigsaw. If you saw from some of the videos from last year, you know, I brought a lot of the parts home. Well, we're bringing the rest of it home today. So I will show you what it is and what I got myself into when we get there. So hopefully the guy will let me film in his barn. If not, after we get it loaded up, you know, stop at a gas station, I'll show you what I got. So anyway, we have a 12-hour round trip today. So it's 6 hours there, 6 hours back roughly, you know, through Chicago and all that. So it's been sitting in his barn for a little over a year now. So he asked if I could come finally get it out. So we're going to accommodate him. And yeah, I gotta get some work done and make some room in the garage before July, before my daughter moves back home. Now she's graduated college and she'll be working in the area. She's gonna live with us for a little bit. So yeah, so anyway, the driveway, both garages, the trailer, it's gonna be a mess. So I gotta hurry up and get some stuff done so I can get rid of that shell body I've got sitting in the garage. So anyway, let's enjoy the trip and get there and get this thing loaded up, turn and burn, and head back home. Well guys, we are here, and the owner is going to let me film in his one of his sheds. So basically, if you look behind me, welcome to Project Jigsaw. Let me flip this camera around and kind of tell you what about this thing is. So that's one of the owner's other projects, his Ford. But this, guys, is Project Jigsaw. This is a 1967 Pontiac GTO, a legitimate 242 Pontiac GTO. So the story is 37 years ago, when he was, you know, in his 20s, he was bored. These cars were cheap, and he blew it apart, you know, when the Pro Street movement was coming out. And so if you notice, the roof has been chopped. I think it was 3 inches. So you can see here's where he chopped the roof. You know, started chopping it. That's actually off of Pontiac Bonneville, that roof skin. You know, and he chopped it here at the A-pillars. And if you notice, yeah, it's tucked. So, you know, here is the big old meaty wheel tubs in here. And here's a bunch of the, you know, additional parts that, you know, I'm going to be dragging back with me here. Looks like there's some of the original roof skin and some of the original quarter panels and stuff, whatnot. So anyway, here's the original seats, you know, from the car. Looks like there's the steering gear and just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff in here. There's the other tire, because the other tire rim got cut. So anyway, guys, it's been sitting in this shed, I think, for about 20-ish years. And overall, it's been 37 years since this work was done. So when we get this home, I'll explain more about what we're actually going to do to this. But first, we need to get it out of the shed, onto the trailer, and head home. So guys, this is probably the first time in 20 years this car has been outside and seen daylight. So it's been a long time. So now we're gonna try and get this thing loaded up and put on the trailer. So guys, the car is all loaded up. Like I said, it's freaking windy as hell. And it's snowing pretty good. And man, I definitely have a huge project here. So, oh, I may have bit off a lot here. See if we can do something with this thing. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's freaking snowing out again. So it's coming down pretty good. I'm actually at a Wally's, which is, I guess, the equivalent of a Buc-ee's. So I may have to go inside and see what a Wally's is all about. So guys, look like this is kind of a mini Buc-ee's. There's Wally's. They got snacks and jerky and drinks and fountain drinks and yeah, stuff. You can see they got popcorn area. They call it canteen and bakery, but they got fresh jerky too. Frozen drinks or splooshes. And plenty of pop. Yep guys, more snow. Snow, snow, snow. And when I checked the forecast, there was not supposed to be snow. It's supposed to be 47 and no snow. It's actually 42 out and snow. What the hell's with all the snow? Hey guys, that's the next day, and I got the everything unloaded out of the truck that we'd thrown in it. So let me kind of flip this thing around and show you what we got, and then you know, I need to kind of figure out, I guess, what I'm going to do with this thing. You know, I'm on the struggle bus a little bit, I'll be honest. You know, it's needs a lot of work. It's rough. It's got some cool potential. I don't know yet. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do. So here's some of the stuff, guys, that you know, I brought back yesterday. Just so you guys know, there's a video from last year. I'll try to find the video number and try to put in a comment here what it was, some of the other stuff I brought home, so you can see the condition of some of the other parts. But here's the factory wiring harness, and I'll talk about some of the options as I walk through the car. So right there is quarter glasses, right there is side glass. Here's a pretty good dash pad. There is a small crack right up in here I noticed today. Here is the factory dash. This car, you can see here, it's kind of cool. It's got rear defrost. And I do have the rear defrosters, you know, I picked up before. Here's the power antenna up and down. I actually have it. It does not work. It is seized up. It's got to be torn apart and, you know, figured out what's wrong with it. You can see, unfortunately, you know, the speedometer gauge there is rusty, and, you know, the plastic is missing. It's a factory AC car, as you can tell by that. As well, so, you know, here's lights and wiper and your cigarette lighter, and obviously the vroom vroom key. And then I also have this cluster back here. So I'm not sure what vehicle this is out of, but here is a factory tack in this gauge. This was just, looks like maybe a base model Tempest or Lemans or something. So here is the original headliner. You know, basically just need it for the rods more than anything else. Here is the GTO, you know, front grills, and unfortunately both plastics are, you know, no good. So both of these would have to be replaced. And this stainless one is, you can see, is kind of cattywampus. I don't know a better term, all bent up, I guess. So maybe this can be straightened and repaired. You know, this one looks to be in pretty good shape. You know, probably just needs to be cleaned up real good. This lens here, you know, is damaged. This lens looks, yeah, this one's got some stress cracking too. You know, but at least the harnesses are present, right? You can make the connections and stuff with a couple of new plastics, and like I said, maybe the stainless inserts can be salvaged. I don't think these came with this car. Maybe they do, because there was a Pontiac Bonneville that donated its roof skin. I don't know if these are from that or not. Here's the rear lower seat frame. You can see it's no good. The whole front suspension, by the way, guys, was rebuilt. So it's got new tie rods, you know, ball joints, polyurethane bushings and everything in it. So you can see the sway bar and the drag link and all that looks new. So all that was done. It is drum brake up front. It is also drum brake in the back. You can see this was a factory AC car right here. So I've got the stuff downstairs for this. I do not have like the lines. I don't have the dryer. I don't have, I think I do have the condenser. I do not have the compressor. So I am missing, you know, some parts. I do have that upper grill part. You can see a little rust here, it needs to be repaired. You know, the big thing was, right, like I mentioned in the intro video, you know, they chopped the roof, I think it was 3 or 4 inches. You know, again, this was 37 years ago. Pro Street was just coming out. So the 20-year-old guy that wanted to do this, wanted to, tub it, go Pro Street movement, go low. He was all for aesthetics. You know, he wanted the look. He wasn't into the horsepower, right, going fast. It was more for him aesthetics. And I think that's still true today. So this cage is coming out, so I got to cut that out and hack it out, and then we can assess the inside of this a little bit better. Figure out what we're going to do here. The dash looks to be in pretty good shape overall. There's my new Tonka, toy truck there. I love those things. You can see, here the seat's actually in really good condition. Needs to be cleaned up real good. These need to be painted, so otherwise, the seat looks to be pretty good shape. We can re-dye that to make it look nice if I need to. Again, here is the 31 by 18 meets. So I believe these are a 15 by 15 rim. These are basically brand new welds that have just seen roll time. As you saw, here's the other one. The tire got sliced, so that's why it's in the car and not on the car. These are from a Pontiac Bonneville, so I'll probably chuck those things. I don't think I'll need them for anything, but maybe some metal for reinforcement or something. So maybe I'll save those a little bit for that. Oh, coming to the back here, this rear valance panel was replaced. Oh, and by the way, both lower quarter sections were also replaced. You can see kind of here welded them in, so both lowers on both sides were done. Needs a little work up here. Not sure what was going on there. Here is where the factory rear power antenna was at. Again, back here is where the factory rear defrosters were at. Again, I got those. What do we got here in the trunk? So this is the original 8.2 rear end in the car. It was narrowed, and apparently back in the day, a guy welded the axles up, which was kind of the norm 37 years ago. I believe those are strange coilover shocks. Again, they just seen time just on the frame. They've never been on the road. I don't know if those are single adjustables or not. I'll have to play around and check those shocks out. I'll have to see if this is a limited slip car or not too, but you can see there's the massive tubs, under the car. So I'll have to see, about those tubs, how to put those in, because looks like he got it pretty tight on this side, but on this side, there's, got it tight, looks like up top there, but then down, down in this area here, there's a gap. So I got to do a little research on tubs. And then if you guys look here, right, you can see the metal kind of carnage there. So we got to figure out what we need to do, back here from a tin standpoint somewhere down the road. Now, the one thing is this is not sitting on body mounts either, guys. This is just sitting on some, I think, foam. So, this may come up an inch or so higher. That's why, I need to figure that out. There is the original floor steering column. So this is an automatic on the floor. So that's the factory steering column. Unfortunately, the steering column has seen better days. So she's pretty beat up. Here we got the transmission cross member, and this is the piece right here that was cut out from there. So again, I got to kind of figure out what I'm going to do with this thing. The deck lid is actually off a Lemans. It is not the original GTO one, but that is kind of cool, to see the light. Oops, to see the light there. So when you open up the trunk, the light comes on. That's kind of neat. What do we got over here? So again, you can see here's where the lower quarter skin was done. You can see she's, that factory rim and tire just doesn't look quite right under there. Looking under here, under the car a little bit, guys. Oh, what do we got under here? So you can see where he added some steel and then kind of brought, out the leg here, this back end part. So for you've got the full frame here, again, you can kind of see this, so that's why I want to get the body off this thing, see what's going on. He admitted, that the shocks are bent, the mounts, because he was lazy and he actually jacked it up on the shocks instead of on the differential. So the one thing I'm not sure of, if the shocks are upside down, because I think if that is a single adjustable, I thought the single adjustable should be at the bottom, so not at the top. So I think these shocks might be up down. I'm not 100% sure. Again, these are 37-year-old shocks, guys. So he did put in a new floor pan, and he did, use a lot of pour on the frame. Looks like he did some pour underneath here as well. So we'll have to take a look at that. There it is. Original 242 car. So this is a 67 GTO. Oh, these. So he was thinking about, doing suicide doors. Again, 37 years ago. So, that other Pontiac over there is going to be donating, parts for this, parts for, some of these rusty areas. Looks like we got some more over here, right? We'll have to clean this whole thing up, see what other parts, areas that can donate or I need to make. The cowl, you can see here what I was talking about, right? It's just sitting on foam. Not on actual body mount. So I do have a few body mounts that I can set this up just to kind of get an idea what's going on with this thing. So if I don't know if we can fit a back seat in this thing or not. I may need to take these off because somewhere in this area, right, is where the ladder bar comes out. So I don't know if I need this whole thing or if I can just do a small area and, fit a back seat in this thing, as well as, here, can I fit the original back seat? The back seat material is actually in really good shape. It's in that other car over there. So I can re-dye it and make it look good. Let's go over and take a peek here at these door panels. So here's the original door panels. And if you notice here, guys, this is also an original power window car. So not only does it have power windows, power, rear antenna, it has rear heat, AC, it had power windows. So you can see these, back panels aren't the best of shape. Again, these can be dyed. I don't know if I can remove these, the material off the original cardboard, set them out in the sun for a few days, make it more pliable, and then, adhere it to some new cardboard, and then again, re-dye these, and then, put some new carpets on. So there's the original, stainless trim here as well. I do have a lot of the stainless trim, guys, for this. Some of it is damaged. So you can see here, see the holes in the bottom of the door? So this has the trim that goes on the door, and it's got the big rocker molding pieces, right, that go all the way up, big, high up on the side as well. Unfortunately, those are damaged. Oops, dropped my camera. So you can see, again, this car has a lot of cool potential, guys. Again, here's all the rear brake parts. Here's the backing plates for, the drums back there. Here's the drums, maybe I keep the rear axle, guys, and maybe I put some fresh meats on this thing down the road and fix all this, fix the interior up, and make this just a really cool Pro Street looking GTO. I don't know. I forgot to show this, guys. Here is the original hood, which is actually in really good condition. This is a repaint, by the way. This is not the original color. The original color was a really light blue metallic. The insert's missing, but you can see here, again, a set of brand new weld wheels. I believe these are 15 7s or 8s. We've been arguing, me and the guy that bought it from, if it's a 7 or an 8. Maybe I should get a tape measure and find out. But yeah, so we got a really nice hood here. The emblem, you know, like some of the other stuff is corroded and whatnot, but maybe we just keep it, you know, since it was original to the car, who knows. Again, so there's some weld wheels that, you know, go right there. So anyway, I forgot to mention that. And here are some of the original, or some reproduction truck laces. So you can see, I believe these, you know, go to like where the wheelhouse area is. You know, and there's the cage nut, right? So for one of the body mounts. And then here is, you know, the rear ones that go under the floor pan. And again, it looks like right here, I believe this is for the, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that is for the strap for the fuel tank. So the guy that was doing it, right, he did the frame so you could keep an original fuel tank up in the back. So that's kind of the idea too. You know, again, we can just put an original fuel tank in the back, maybe throw a little 400, you know, engine up here with a little 350, you know, turbo, get a drive shaft made, and, you know, have a simple carbureted setup that, again, you know, just kind of a cool Pro Street looking GTO. So I don't know, guys. Like I said, I don't think I'm gonna make this a drag and drive car. You know, maybe what I do is I find like a 400 Pontiac engine, you know, and a transmission, just 350 transmission, you know, give somebody, I don't know, maybe just make it a nice cruiser. You know, I want to save that L33 back there that I built, you know, for maybe something else, and not this car. Maybe this car, I just make a nice, you know, cruiser. By the way, this had a white vinyl top too. Original white vinyl top. Also had white headliner. That's what that, or parchment, I guess it would be, as you kind of see. So it has a parchment interior. It probably have black floor carpeting. Oh, you saw the dash pad. Anyway, that's kind of the walk around of this car, guys. You know, she's rough. She has potential. You know, I don't know if, it's Sunday. I don't have a lot of room in the shop right now. So, you know, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put these parts, most likely the basement. You know, I'm gonna have to find somewhere to put the trailer. I don't want to put it in storage because it's, you know, a really nice aluminum trailer. I don't want somebody to borrow it permanently from me. You know, and maybe I'll have to stick this thing on the ground, check out the frame, do some reinforcement on the frame, put some body mounts under it, some of the original ones, set the body back down, cut out the roll cage, start farting around with, you know, some of the simple rust repairs, and do some checking out in the back there. You know, what do I need to do with the wheel tubs? You know, just start figuring some other stuff out before I decide to tackle, you know, hacking off a roof off one car and putting on another car. So yeah, that's what we got. Welcome to Project Jigsaw, guys. So, you know, we'll see what we can do with this thing. Unfortunately, there is some damaged parts. You know, that's what flea markets are for. That's what eBay's for. You know, search and find and see what we can do to come up with something creative, you know, and maybe bring this thing back to life as just a cruiser. Drop in the comments what you think I should do with it. If you've made it this far on the video, post in your comments, guys. I want to hear what you think we should do with this 1967 Pontiac GTO. I'm not going to bring it back to original. You know, I just don't have the funds to restore a GTO. You know, I'm not going to go looking for a frame. I'm not going to put the, you know, I could take the tubs out of this donor car and probably put them back in there if I could find a donor frame, right? Then, you know, then you're talking a couple grand for a frame by the time you find one. Now maybe $1,000 by the time you find a frame, and then, you know, try to put the floor pans all back together and stuff. I mean, that is a possibility, you know. So again, guys, throw your thoughts into the comments. I want to hear them. If you made it this far in the video, thank you. I really appreciate it, because everything you guys, all the watching of the videos you guys do, all the funds go back into projects. You know, whether it be the Dart, which, and by the way, is just a few weeks away. I'll be doing 6th Summer in June. So we'll have some content for that coming up. You know, obviously we'll have some content from the GTO here coming up. So anyway, guys, yeah, let's talk about this thing. Let me see. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe instead of a drag and drive car, like I said, maybe I make it a Pro Street car. Just, have some fun with it, and maybe try to bring it back as nice as I can, and on a low budget. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have a great day.